Hey, what's going on YouTube? PB the Fox here with the Ravnica Historical Society, coming back with another short video. I know I've been gone for a couple days. Things have been kind of crazy around here. I've been getting a lot of stuff done. I had a dentist appointment, blah, 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 so I haven't dropped a video in a couple days. But today's a new story, and actually I wanted to talk about my original plan was to take those 2 days off because I was going to jump back in with Jumpstart Historic Horizons. But in case you haven't heard, it's actually been delayed. I've got the article here. The release that was planned for August 10th, which is yesterday, is now expected to arrive on August 24th, with Jumpstart Historic Horizons now scheduled to release on August 26th. So basically, yesterday there was supposed to be this big update that was coming for the back end, a lot of changes, and what I'm guessing is that it's the update that's got the changes for a lot of the new mechanics coming in, all these new cards, the digital only stuff. So they're basically doing a huge back end update to the program so that it's going to support all this new content they're bringing in. That's fair enough. The problem is that apparently that update is not ready yet. So even though the card files for the set itself are done and ready to go, the actual infrastructure we need to play with those cards isn't ready yet, so it's getting delayed. And because of that, obviously the set's getting delayed. So they're pushing the update back to the 24th, and then the actual set will come out on the 26th, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, which is a big bummer because I was really counting on this huge change to Historic to start jump-starting some of the content, because as a lot of you know, I've been really bored, terribly bored with Historic recently. I haven't really even been playing it. I didn't go for Mythic last month. I'm not going to go for Mythic in the weird split this month. I'll leave a link to this in case you guys want to check out the entire article if you haven't seen it already. There's some updates to, like, they talk about the splits with the ranked, and then there's going to be 3 free drafts. There's an Amonkhet remastered draft, Kaladesh remastered, and then Ikoria. You get 1 token for each of them, so you don't have to choose, and then they're different days. And this is sort of as like a little holdover to get people to the event that they were all counting on. Really cool that they gave us 3 free drafts. I didn't expect that at all. But I was planning on just not really playing Historic and kind of amping up the new set for the next couple days. But since we have 2 more weeks, what we're going to do instead is jump over into Magic Arena. We'll open some packs later. I've been saving them up. We're actually going to talk about Brawl. I'm really excited for Historic Brawl, and you'll see in some of the updates and the announcements, even though the actual permanent 100 card Historic Brawl mode won't be available without the update, I think they said starting tomorrow they're going to include it in just the regular play options up here. I don't even know what they're called, honestly. Let's take a peek real quick. Waiting for the server. Is it under events? So I think, yeah, they're just going to run a free event. That's going to be 100 card Historic that you can play all the way up until the actual format becomes just available all the time. So I'm almost positive that starting tomorrow, you're just going to have Historic Brawl 100 card available. So we're going to be playing that for the next 2 weeks because, as some of the longtime viewers of Historic Brawl know, I actually love the format. Here's a bunch of my decks. I was thinking about this earlier. The problem with all of these decks I have is that they're all based on a 60 card format, and some of them just don't work out great. I took a look at Tajik here, which is potentially my favorite Brawl deck I've ever played, Historic Brawl. And I sort of expanded it to the 100 card format, although I think we're going to try it out a lot, but I don't think Tajik's going to be very good. Being an aggro deck that was really low to the ground, had a really nice curve that came into some like decent threats in the top end. That's not going to work in this 100 card format. Like, we're not going to see Embercleave nearly as often. I'm going to play it anyway because it just looks really fun, and maybe we'll get paired against a bunch of other aggressive decks and have these cool matchups. But Tajik is the first deck that I don't know, I guess what you would say I finished, I suppose. Although there are a few cards from Jumpstart Historic Horizons that are going into the Tajik deck. That's a lot of T's. So it's not 100% finished, but for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing videos about Historic Brawl, 100 cards, every day. So that's what we're going to be playing. There's another deck I wanted to show down here. New deck 2. Here we go. 100 card Enchantress. So this is going to be our Enchantress deck. I've only got 73 cards in here right now. Calyx is going to be... I think Calyx is our placeholder, and I forget her name, but the new legendary Enchantress coming out. This deck, I don't think we're going to be able to play until Jumpstart comes out, unfortunately, because there are so many good Enchantress cards coming out in Historic Horizons that we need for this deck to work. And I've got to do a little bit more digging into what honestly goes in here. This is a really rough draft, but I'm super excited. I know my wife Julie loves Enchantress. She has a Bant Enchantress Historic Brawl, but again, that's a 60 card that's built around Chulane just to get us in the colors. So I'm going to work pretty hard. We'll see if we can get this to work. I'm really excited for that. But there's a couple of my decks that just don't work, unfortunately, like, oops, not Brawl, other decks. Bruvac Historic Brawl, I love this deck, but unfortunately, this just doesn't work in a 100 card format. Like, the mill was already really thin. It's barely good enough. We have to play stuff like Sweet Oblivion, which isn't that bad if you can keep Bruvac on the board, right? But there's some bad cards in this deck. It's not great. There's some, I mean, pretty much all of them are bad because they mill, but like Wall of Lost Thoughts, like this stuff barely made the cut in a 60 card format. It's just not going to work in 100 cards. So I think Bruvac's gone for Historic Brawl. Super sad. Blue-red spells, this will be a deck that I might take a look at. This was really fun. What's her name? Yeah, Kazra the Royal Chaser. Blue-red spells. The problem is, like, this leaned so much on things like Electromancer and just these cool payoffs that I don't know. I think, so I wanted to talk about this. I think what's going to happen with 100 card Historic Brawl is that the format's going to kind of mellow out a lot more. Well, mellow out's the wrong way to say it. I think what's going to happen is that a lot of decks are either going to push into things like this Asika, which is just, or a Kenrith or Golos or any of the like 5-colored delicious commanders who just give you like, this is just a 5-color good stuff, right? 5 colors is the only way that you can pack your deck full of good cards to hit on every single turn. If you're in a 2-color deck, like blue-red spells or, you know, green, where'd it go? Well, it's not in here. Green-white Enchantress or this blue-green Tatiova deck, Zimone, like Amara, they're just like, the way I was talking about it earlier is that when it was a 60 card format, you could build cool brawl decks around mechanics that only showed up in one set. Like, you could build a decent 3-color mutate deck with a lot of the Ikoria commanders and use that mechanic. You could use Surveil or maybe have like an Explore sub-theme in your decks that made some of the mechanics that were like just good enough able to be played in Brawl. And now that we're going into a 100 card format, a lot of that stuff's just going away because we're diluting our decks with 40% more cards, right? Which means a lot of these things that were already like barely strung together in their own blocks or sets or whatever just don't work with too many cards. Like, you can't play a mutate deck now in 3 colors because there just aren't enough mutate payoffs to make it worth playing any of the mutate cards that are all really subpar. Because once you get into something like even a 3-color deck, I don't think we have any 4-color commanders yet, and we don't have partners. So it's going to be 3 and 5. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But like, Bolas is going to be so popular simply because these 3 colors are very powerful. There's a lot of good stuff that you can jam into this deck so that you're pretty much hitting hard on every turn. That's the thing what I'm afraid of, even like the Tajik deck, is that there's just going to be some turns where like, sometimes I'm going to cast Clarion Spirit, which is barely good in Standard. Like, it's pretty good in Standard, I guess. It's not going to make the cut in a 100 card Brawl. Especially when, like I said, I think the format's going to coalesce a lot around these 5-color good stuff piles. Like, if we go in, who are all the 5 colors available right now? If we've got Taziri. Oh, wait, let's look at the ones that I don't have collected as well, just in case. We've got Kenrith, Taziri, Asika, Gigantha, technically, Joda, Cody. People build Cody decks. They're really cool. Golos, Niv. People are going to play Tiamat, but that's going to be a dragon deck, obviously. I hope for their sake that the people who play this 5-color stuff aren't going to get paired against these 5-color people because it's just going to ruin, like, these decks should legit get paired against like 3-color and 2-color decks. But let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solid commanders to play in the 5-color arena. So I think a lot of the format's going to be people playing those 5-color decks that are really high power, and then a bunch of like monocolor seems so dangerous in this format, but even like 2 and 3-color decks are going to be like just thinner on power overall. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I don't like how imbalanced it makes the format. But we'll see. I'm definitely excited to find out and play. We're going to open some packs. Oh, and we're going to check out the store. I looked in there earlier. There's something I want. I think it was Shark Typhoon. We'll peek at our daily deals here. Yeah. So 75% off Shark Typhoon. I'm pretty sure that I want to buy this. Just because you can see I bought the axe a while ago. Or the axe. The Ox of Agonis. 75% off cool cards like this. It's just hard to say no. Like, I play so much Shark Typhoon. I'm gonna buy this one. I'm not happy about it, but it's $1.25, right? It's pretty cheap, and it's exciting. Shark Typhoon's a card I play all the time. I've actually never played Ox in a deck, which makes me kind of sad that I purchased it. So we won't be making the same mistake. Shark Typhoon, we play in all kinds of decks. But we're gonna crack 6 packs here because I'm super excited. I've been holding them for a few days so that we could open them on video. Dungeon Descent, not exciting. I don't know if we're going to get any super exciting stuff out of it because it's only 6. But we'll take a peek. Meteor Swarm, really cool art on this card, but not what I'm looking for. Just want big standard playables, honestly. That's all I'm really looking for. I don't know about that one. It is cool art, though. We got 3 more. Give me a Planeswalker. The white guy. I don't know if we're ever going to need that in Historic, but maybe. I guess I'm glad to have that over some other random rare. Looking for a Planeswalker, though. Give me the white Planeswalker. Oh, Flumph. How many Flumps do I have? That might be Flumph number 4. I'm not even kidding. That might be Flumph number 4. Volo. Guide to Monsters. So, like, almost no new cards there. How many Flumps do we have? Tell me, Arena. Tell me how many Flumps we have. Oh, yeah. All these cards are new, but not Flumph, huh? We have a full set of Flumps. Boo. Anyway. So that's what we're going to be doing. Let me know, what are you all going to be playing in 100 card Historic? Send me deck lists. I might try to do some things where some of the viewers, we get together and play a couple games, right? We each bring like 2 decks and play like kind of a high power game and then more of a like kind of janky brood it myself build. Try to get some cool stuff in there. Like I said, all of my focus on Historic Brawl so far has been in a 60 card frame of reference. So a lot of the thinking that I've done, I've really got to expand my ideas and figure out, like, most of these decks aren't going to work, unfortunately. Like, Bolas should be good. Blue-red spells might be playable. Chulane's definitely fine. Asika's definitely fine. It's these 3. Amara's like a definite no. This is what I'm talking about. The token sub-theme was already like really underpowered in a 60 card format because I wanted to lean on things like this. I just don't think we're getting enough token love in the next couple of sets. Or I guess one set already came out, right? So between Jumpstart and AFR, I don't think we've gotten enough token love to make this worth it. So some of these are unfortunately going to be going bye-bye. Maybe Tajik, we'll see. I'm going to fight hard to keep Tajik alive. But let me know what you're all playing. Some of those cool 3-color brews, I'm definitely going to be looking into more 3-color decks. We're going to build something cool. I think I'm going to build a Mardu deck with Extus. That looks really fun. Now that the format is a permanent fixture on Arena, I'm a little bit more willing to spend some wild cards and build some fun decks. We'll see. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you're all playing. I really want to see your guys' decks. Please let me know. We'll get in it tomorrow after the update, playing some games. Should be fun. Hopefully it's live tomorrow. If not, we'll talk about something else, like always. And as always, I've been PB the Fox with the Ravnica Historical Society. You've all been awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll see you tomorrow for some exciting Commander. Should be super fun. Take care, guys.